Give me the.
I mean, we should be live now. All right. 5. Hey guys, welcome back to another live stream, this time with your boy Luis, with my co-hosts.
What's up, guys? Chris here. What's going on?
What's up, guys? It is Jay Dogs, Jay Diggle, Jay No Doubt, Jay Get to the dinner table on time. Jay, no, not today. Sorry, guys. I'm excited.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited for today.
We are excited for
Heck yes.
today. And Joe, would you like to tell the people what are we going to be talking about today?
We are talking about Guardians of the Galaxy 3 or 4. I'm not sure because the Christmas special was very nebulous. But yeah, they lured me in thinking we were talking about Super Mario Brothers. But no, we're going to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy. Still Chris Pratt. Still good. No Peaches, unfortunately.
I mean...
Is Peaches living in anybody else's
Yes.
head constantly?
Always.
At least once a day?
Always. Peaches.
To be honest, I haven't seen the movie yet.
I make you mine.
Look.
Well, basically, Bowser sings a song called Peaches, and that's all you need to
Look,
know.
I was waiting.
Jack Black sings.
I was waiting for Jack Black to show up into this movie because if he could show up in Star Wars, he could show up in Marvel. So
I wanted him to sing. I wanted him to sing in Mandalorian. I really wanted him to sing in Mandalorian, but it didn't happen. That would have been cool.
He at least frolicked, which is a good thing.
Look, apparently,
As long as we have a Jack Black frolic, we're good.
Gotta have Tenacious D. Tenacious D.
Whoa. Sorry, I heard D, and I was like, I had to put you on hold.
Dally, oh, you perv.
No, sorry.
And I am very tenacious, thank you.
But apparently,
Just gonna take
The
my notes over
lone
here.
Joe loves these guys.
Well,
We got a comment.
that is.
Yeah.
I wonder who's the lone Joe.
I wonder who the lone Joe is.
But
Nobody knows.
nobody knows.
It's a mystery.
Nobody knows. But yeah, guys, we thank you for tuning in. Even if you're watching live or rewatching this as it replays,
Yes.
we definitely want you guys to continue to support us because you guys have, and we are so thankful for all the support on Twitch, on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. We appreciate it so much.
Thank you.
Joe's gonna tell you exactly why you need to continue to support us and how you can do that right now.
Well, how you can support us right now really is, do we have the Sarah McLachlan song ready to go?
I have it ready.
Is Arms of the Angels playing yet?
It's going right now. Trust me, it's
going.
I don't believe you.
it's going.
I don't believe you. I'm going to get everybody started. In the arms of three men child. Okay, thank you. You can support us by hitting this link right here, which there probably isn't a link, but you can go and subscribe because something about our grandmothers is going to... Guys, I'm really adult. Chris, take this one
Okay,
for me.
Chris, take it.
I'm wearing glasses.
So-
I'm
so,
stupider.
Our show is sponsored by our grandmothers.
Okay.
We love them.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes. We get whatever we want from them.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, whatever our parents won't give us, they get us.
Do we?
So
that's true.
I get a slipper in the
yeah,
head, but okay.
we also get life lessons from them too.
That's important.
you know.
you know.
We're always getting and we're also sponsored by Poland
That's
Springs,
it.
but they don't know that.
Yeah, so don't forget to hit your promo code SkyGuy15 if you want 15% off on the next time you go into Polish Spring. You cannot use this in Target. I know a lot of people have been asking if you can use this in Target. You cannot. You can only do it through their website. And if for some reason you're on the black market and Walmart tells you, hey, you should use SkyGuy20, you probably shouldn't listen to that guy because that guy has drugs.
You know what I love, and I've heard a lot of feedback from our valuable, from our listeners and our watchers, is that we get right to the point,
Yeah.
and we don't riff too long in the beginning,
Yeah.
which is good. and everything that we say is on point, and none of it is nonsense.
Yeah, exactly. We are a non
Exactly. We're a nonsense group.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But okay.
And we're against crime, and we're not afraid to admit
We're
it.
not, yeah, crime. And Joe's addies and drug dealers. But anyway, besides the point, we are excited to talk about today Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 by the director, James Gunn. I have to mention that because he's gone and he's now going to be directing DC. That's a whole nother thing, but we won't get into that. Maybe we will. Who knows?
Dust in the wind.
Dust in the wind. But, man... Okay, before we continue on, guys, we are going to spoil the whole entire movie. So if you didn't watch the movie, you can stop right now and go watch it in theaters because it's about to be emotional. This is about to be life-giving, maybe life-wrecking, like, you know what I mean? Reckoning, thank you.
Reckoning?
Broken. It's going to be broken.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to say this. Like, if you do love animals, like, please listen with caution. And if you love raccoons, I'm sorry. But anyway.
You will now.
You will exactly. Now. But guys, initial thoughts. I'm going to go with Chris. What are your initial thoughts right now?
My initial thoughts were it was from beginning to end emotional roller coaster. It was very well done. It's a good send-off for James Gunn. Hopefully he could take this and put it into DC, but we're not talking about DC. But it was very directed, produced, and acting. The acting was good too, and I love raccoons now. I'm going to say that right now. Save the raccoons. Next time when a raccoon gets in your garbage, don't get mad.
Get mad. What happens if...
Don't get mad. They got to eat too.
Get even.
Yeah. What happens if you want to get even?
I don't know if they have garbage to get even with.
Well, that's kind of sad.
But don't approach one during the daytime.
Don't approach one during the daytime.
Only at
night.
I don't really have a problem with raccoons. They usually just come to me, but I also think I'm trash.
What?
So there's that.
What? No. Hey, okay. Pep talk, guys. Everybody, tune in. We're gonna pep talk to Joe right now. Joe, your glasses are so beautiful and majestic. You have okay.
So where can I pick up one of those pair of glasses?
Walmart. You're welcome.
You can the Wayne Vision Inn, which I don't know if that's a thing, but I know I got them in Wayne, New Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah, Joe, what are your initial thoughts of Guardians 3?
So you guys know as much as I loved the Eternals. I have been very vocal.
So everybody else.
I've been very, very aware. I've been very adamant about my criticism of the MCU as of late. It's been very disappointing. I feel it's missed the mark. It's missed its mission. And I think no matter how they spin it, they just got lazy. And then James Gunn, outside of a few bright spots, of course, but I feel like James Gunn came and just did what these movies were doing in the past again. Made a great movie. My personal opinion, best of the three, and I love the first one. But as far as story is concerned, emotional resonance, character growth, about characters who you might not even care about. Even Drax, who I didn't really ever give a crap about because it just seemed like he was comedic relief, did a great job. Everyone had a great job. Yeah. So I have a lot to say on it. But right now I'm thrilled that we got a great MCU movie. And I'm really hoping that this is the beginning of what Phase 5 should have been before Ant-Man really just tempered all our expectations.
But yeah, I have to follow up with Joe real quick. I think everybody, well, maybe not everybody, but I know for us internally, we're starting to lose hope in terms of the MCU. I know I was. I know me and Chris talk about it sometimes of how last year was not a great year for Marvel fans, and definitely like I would say as I'm watching Guardians 3, it did remind me of what Marvel used to be, and yeah. Guardians is more of a darker tone. I'm not gonna say it's like all light and it's not all like all fun, right? This movie is definitely a darker tone, with a lot of like animal like abuse and all that stuff, which we'll get into in terms of Rocket's story. But I feel like this was such a well-directed movie, in terms of like you were in love with all these characters. I don't think a character overshadowed one. Like I feel like everybody was balanced. Like it wasn't just a Star-Lord movie. This was the Guardians of the Galaxy movie for real. And I definitely was encouraged, and even like having like Warlock, right? Like we all thought Warlock was gonna be super important to this movie. But he's still a kid, and kind of seeing like how he's just obeying and having that like comedic relief too, but also having like the main guy, I forgot his name, the one that like hates Rocket. What's his name? 8-9. What's his name? The one with his mask so messed up.
The mask. Oh, you mean the bad guy?
The bad guy.
The high evolutionary.
Yes, high revolutionary. Yeah.
Kang 2.0.
Kang 2.0, which everybody. Well, we'll get into that. My initial thoughts. I thought this movie was well done. I enjoyed this movie a lot. I would watch it again, to be honest, because I thought it was well done. But going into it, how do you guys think about James Gunn or the MCU taking Rocket's story and using that instead of like pushing, I guess, the phase along with King the Conqueror?
I think if I can be so bold as to talk first, Chris, thank you for your leniency, of course. I think it is so. You know what I actually liked about this movie more than anything? I love tie-ins. That it just wasn't going back. Like we got one Thanos reference.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much, and it was part of the story. You needed it for the story, for how it dealt with Gamora. So I think that it was great to not build it up, because the way they've been trying to build up Kang has just been like, first of all, it's been beaten to death a little bit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That is an allegations reference, and I thought it was clever, but not for live. Oh, I got them nervous. Never mind. It stands on its own 2 feet. It was its own movie, which these movies are supposed to do. I love when stuff connects to the whole world, but like at the same time, if you look at the MCU in phase 1 and 2, phase 2 probably being one of the better ones, and of course phase 3. Phase 2, they didn't really cross over. There was mentions here and there, but they were their own things. Then they decided to start doing team-ups and stuff like that, or having to heavily rely on everything else that went on. Like, listen, Thanos is a big deal, and I think it should still be referenced, but the way they do it is just kind of just like, remember when, yeah, that's still these movies. We don't need that anymore. We need to continue to move on and grow. I feel like we did that with like Wakanda. I feel like Wakanda Forever is like the first movie I felt like, okay, this feels organically in the MCU for the most part. It feels like a natural continuation of their story, and it's not relying so much on world building a little bit. But honestly, I'll go back. I won't go back to Wakanda Forever that much. That's what this movie was just a lot more fun. You felt a lot. That one too, you actually felt a lot too. I'm eating my own words, but this was just more fun. It was more Guardians. It was they doubled down on comedy, doubled down on drama. They told a great story. And as far as animal violence is concerned, why are we talking about animal violence in this when John Wick's a thing?
I mean, he's on point right now. Joe's on fire right now. So
the other 2 Guardians movies, Rocket always was never open up to talking about his past. So it was kind of a good thing that that's something that they went after, just to say, hey, this is what happened to him in the past,
Yeah.
which was good. Um, uh, Piggybacking on what Joe's saying, back when I used to read comic books, you had the main story, and then every now and then you would have another hero or villain pop into the
For
story,
sure.
and comics didn't overdo it. They would pop in, pop out, but it never got away from the main story of that comic. And if the MC sticks with that mantra, like Wakanda was good because it was standalone. Yes, we're gonna have one big movie at the end. Yes, we're gonna get there, but you don't want to overshadow each hero or each villain in the stories.
Yeah.
And Thanos is gone. It's time to move on. We need to get to the next chapter of where the MCU is going, and this was way better than Doctor Strange. Way better. I think when they have time to direct and produce. Now, to me, this is a part 2 of Guardians of the Galaxy, and I'm going to say part 2 of the third volume. The only reason I'm saying is you had the Christmas special, which kind of ties things in together too. It was quirky. It was a Christmas special, but it was good to have that.
Yeah.
Because that also built characters. The other characters also was a Christmas special. So go ahead.
While you're talking about the characters, I think once again this is the key takeaway of why this movie was so good, because these are characters that we've known now for 9 years. They were characters that nobody really cared about, and James Gunn were able to take these and develop them. But because the Guardians have been kind of out of the mix since 2017, and they've been overshadowed by Infinity War and all this, I'll be honest, I wasn't even super excited about this movie, even though I love Guardians. Of course, I was going to go see it. But the amount they had, maybe not Endgame, because Endgame was a masterclass, but the amount of callbacks to the original movies, to the lore of the franchise of Guardians, not Marvel, was great. And one of my favorite examples, I'm not sure if you guys know this one, but James Gunn did confirm it, is throughout the entire movie, we're reintroduced to Gamora, who she was before she had met Star-Lord and all them. So she's not the same Gamora, and I'm glad that they kept with that too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually really glad, because it seems very organic way to give Chris Pratt's character Star-Lord credit, which, side note, Chris Pratt, probably his best acting job ever, seriously.
Yep. It was good. It was like his acting. Yeah. But it comes down to James Gunn was the director,
right,
the producer, and the writer for the movie. Everything that we saw on that screen was his idea. Mm-hmm. He made his idea come from paper in front of us. That's that is awesome to see.
Yeah.
He had that freedom to do that, and I'm hoping that Marvel takes that in consideration in the next movies, of giving it to a director, have them write it, have them produce it, have them say on editing, he was involved from beginning to end on it. Like, he could have just said, you know what, this is it, I'm going to DC, move on. But he didn't do that.
Yeah.
He didn't do that.
Yeah. And he had every reason to do, because he should have been pissed.
Yes.
He did it for the fans.
Yes.
But one of the things I was saying, we were going to say right before, and this is one of my favorite parts of the entire franchise, and I didn't realize it till after the movie because it was so cool, is that the way they even developed all the characters. Like, we've even seen Groot's life, he literally, because it's not even the same group, but the end when he says, "I love you guys," instead of "I am Groot." The end thing that I didn't even realize is that we, as the audience, were finally understanding him, because Gamora had no idea what he was saying the whole time, and then she did, and then at the end, James Gunn was really saying, he's saying the same thing he's always has, but we as an audience now understand him and can now connect to him the way the Guardians did, which I thought that must be a theory. But then I looked into it, and made all that much sense, and then James Gunn actually confirmed it. I'm just like, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And it just actually really added to the character of Groot, and finally gave Vin Diesel a chance to use his actual voice, which was lackluster.
Yeah.
And James Gunn is a fan. That's the best thing. He is a fan himself. So for him to share this with us as a fan,
For sure.
not only as a director, it was awesome. What do you think, Luis?
Oh my gosh! I mean, one, I will have to agree when they first started Guardians of the Galaxy, right, like 9 years ago. I did not care about these superheroes because at the time it was all about Captain America, Thor, and Iron Man, right? Not now 9 years have passed, and I was really excited for this movie because I think the trailer for real did a great job, and I really thought a lot of people were gonna die. For real, I really thought, like, I was like, man, people are just gonna get, like, I was like, even in the trailers, right? We see Drax getting shot from the back, and he's like crawling. You saw Nebula hold Chris Pratt, right? Like, and then you see, like, you know, Chris Pratt again, Star-Lord, like screaming, and like like you're like, oh, it's a medical room. Who is dying? Like, who is like, and I thought the emotions and how the storyline continued on to this movie was so brilliant. To the fact that, like, I think the first time I cried for a character was Iron Man, right, in Endgame, and then this movie, I would have to say, like, it brought me to tears multiple times because of how much emotions and how much time that was invested in all of these characters. You know, and I man, like, I really thought Rocket was gonna die. I really thought he was gonna.
I literally thought they were off in Chris Pratt in the end. I
Well,
was just like, okay,
oh my-
this is bold.
There was a rumor that James Gunn filmed death scenes for all the characters, and you weren't going to know who it was going to be until he edited it the day that they were going to edit it. So who knows? Maybe they did. Who knows? But maybe change of heart. It just, I think it was heartfelt more, instead of having somebody pass away, but have them move on.
Yeah, and they
like moving on from the team. Which, you know what, we are getting into the next phase, and we're going to have new team members and stuff like that. So it makes avenues for newer characters to grow and develop.
For sure. My next question for you guys is, how did you guys feel about the main villain, the High Revolutionary? Right? High Revolutionary?
Evolutionary.
Evolutionary.
Yeah. What are your main thoughts of the main villain?
He was a psycho.
We need a psycho, though.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, like I'm saying, like,
he was very smart in creating all these species, but when it came down to it, he created a species that was smarter than him, and he didn't know why.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a good. I like that storyline. Rocket ended up being the smartest being in the whole galaxy, smarter than him.
Yeah, for sure.
Which was good. But he was a good villain. It kept balance. I just couldn't get over, as I'm watching the movie, all the these other characters. These actors are from Peacemaker. And,
yeah.
You know what? I'm saying, okay, he's a Peacemaker, and that one's from Suicide Squad. Like the pink girl, that was Ratcatcher 2.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm telling my wife, like, that's Ratcatcher 2. She goes, what?
Well, see, I didn't
Yes,
even.
What's it called?
I saw James Gunn's wife.
Yes.
Of course, Nathan Fillion. Anytime he can get into something's fine. I'm glad that he got into something. I still would have loved for him to be a main hero in some universe. Hopefully, maybe in DC they'll give him another job. But now he's aged out.
Wait, I gotta say this. I laughed when he was like, "Hey, I have one of them on my squad too."
Yes.
He's like, "Man, this guy, I would go to jail for this guy. I would murder him." Like, yeah, I look at him and I'm disgusted. Everything he does, like, irritates me.
These one-liners in the movie, they're like, I like them. It's a one-liner and you move on. It's funny. Yeah. And then, but occasionally during the movie you get a little bit more here and
Yeah.
there. Like I liked the dog.
Oh,
I'm not
Cosmo.
I'm not Cosmo. I'm not a bad
Take
dog.
it back. Take it back.
Take it back. Take it back. That was
And
cool.
they even have it builds up to a cool moment too when he
Yes,
actually
yes,
does. Like, but it was actually an emotional, like, oh, that's actually really
He's
cool.
like,
yes.
I knew I
But
wasn't a bad dog. I knew I wasn't a bad dog.
but I was hoping that they would do a little bit more with Howard the
Oh
Duck.
yeah,
Really, I thought like they were gonna bring him in a little bit more.
for sure.
I'm waiting for that.
You,
That would be cool for him.
You
Them to
know,
do that.
Guardians is the only movie, and I feel maybe they've tried to play it a little safer, which I prefer them. It's the only movie where these type of characters, these type of aliens, don't feel off. Like, like there's certain things that MCU that doesn't feel organic. Eternals, for example. But even if you go back to the Thor movie and they start introducing aliens in that, it's just like, no, this doesn't feel authentic, and you're going too far in a level. But in Guardians, they can get away with it, And I think honestly, Howard the Duck has always been a fun throwaway. But like to have a storyline about him or anything like that, that's Disney Plus material at best. I'm not even sure I'd want it because James Gunn has walked such a fine line with that with this franchise before, like, because it could just be ridiculously on the corniest levels of MCU where you're rolling your eyes in a She-Hulk haze, but in a masterfully directed way, it works.
Yeah.
So I think it's great. I think he did and I don't know what you guys' thoughts are, but and I'll try to keep this as even keeled and non-political as possible, but just a whole firing and rehiring of James Gunn. Do you think in this case scenario, do you think it made the film better, worse? The fan anticipation maybe helped him create something lasting before he had out?
I don't think it was a big deal because James Gunn is James Gunn. I think no matter what he does, he's like that's one guy that I would like to meet like in person. I think he's gonna be a fun person to meet like in real life because I think he's just down to earth. He's like I said before, he's a fan like us, and he said Guardians of the Galaxy was a comic book that he read when he was a kid.
yeah.
So he took something that nobody thought would make any sense, and he brought it to light. So it was good. He's good. I don't think it was so much him leaving. I think he just did what he had to do. If this is a foreshadowing of what's going to happen with DC, I'm all for it. I hope it does. I hope it just goes over into that.
Yeah.
But I want both franchises to be good. I just don't want one to be better than the other. I want
as long as he's taking a Kevin Feige approach to it, like Kevin Feige seasons before She-Hulk was a thing. As long as he's taking an approach to that and he's kind of spearheading it, I'm excited for it because even like if you look at Zack Snyder was essentially supposed to do the same thing originally, and I love Zack Snyder. I love those movies, and I love the Justice League movie now, but at the same time, it was just Zack Snyder has a very specific style and a specific story that's not really amenable. I think James Gunn will really be able to tie together humanity, humor, and stuff like that. But it remains to be seen. I think Superman's going to be a challenging movie for him to start off with because it's a character that should be easy but is not.
Yeah.
And you don't want to you don't want to always reboot everything, and also you don't want to repeat the same things because we know where Superman came from. We know what happened to his family. We know all that. We just don't need to see it again. Just like Spider-Man.
Yep.
Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. They moved on. They made it work well, and you can say the same thing for Batman. We don't need to see
his parents get shot.
Bruce Wayne's parents shot and stuff like that. So it's. You can do that tastefully moving forward.
For sure.
And I think he will do that.
I got to be honest. I wouldn't mind a retelling of a Superman origin. Not because we had it in Man of Steel, but Man of Steel was just everybody was on that thing where like we don't want to tell the same story again, right? But like in all fairness, Superman hasn't got a proper retelling of his origin since 1979.
Mhm.
We all know the story, but like even Man of Steel was flashbacks, kind of like a Batman Begins type of thing, except Batman Begins did it a lot better. So like, and don't get me like, I'm excited for it. You know, like I love Henry Cavill. I would have loved for them to do a sequel to that Justice League. You know, but like they polluted it became X-Men at a certain point. They polluted the waters too
Well,
much, too many mixed areas.
yeah, I think Gunn knows what works and what doesn't work, and I think he knows what we want to see on the big screen, and also shows, because I'm stoked for the Green Lantern Corps.
Yeah.
You know, we've
I'm
gotten
excited for
away
that,
from
Bill.
we got away from that. We got away from, and you know, this is not we're not talking about DC right now. We're talking about Marvel, but can't help it. James Gunn is the man.
James Gunn's the man.
He's the man.
He is the man.
You know,
Yeah.
But I, going back to James Gunn and how he directed Guardians of the Galaxy, I think he ended it on a high note and a peaceful note, because yeah, he could have killed everybody and he didn't, and he chose to have he gave everybody a good peaceful resolution. You know, it may have not been the resolution that we have wanted, right, like with Star-Lord and Gamora, but even seeing how Gamora still found a family, right, like the family that she's always been longing for with the Ravengers, right? Don't forget, this is not the same Gamora from the last two movies. This is from the different timeline. So she still got her family, right? Also to see, Rocket becoming more of a leader now, right? He's always joked about how he's the leader and how Star-Lord is not, but now he was given that title. Seeing Nebula becoming like who didn't think of her as anything but competing with her sister, has now wants to help build a society that she didn't live. She wants something better. And that's kind of cool to see. You got to see all these characters have an actual developed story. And
yeah, I don't mean to cut you off there, but Nebula, seeing Nebula change to being more caring, instead of being reckless, that arc, like to see that. I think she's going to be a leader someday because she actually cares on what's going on. And I didn't mean to cut you off there, buddy, but that was that was one character that I was like really truly engaging with on the screen, where she was just mean, no, didn't like anybody because the way her father treated her, and that she just totally changed, and she was just very caring. Like for her to like make sure everybody was okay when they were under attack.
Oh yeah.
In nowhere, that was her first instincts, to make sure everybody was okay. That was, it showed a lot of character development for her as well.
Yeah.
She's totally a Leo. I'm throwing that out for all our female watchers who can relate.
She's a Leo. I feel like I should know that because I'm also a Leo, but I don't.
I just realized, Luis, you need to get a Captain America shield, buddy.
I have Captain America over there.
No, you need the shield, buddy.
Well,
the shield.
He's holding the shield. I don't have a big shield. He's carrying the shield. That's all I gotta say.
It's as if you hate America or something.
Whoa! That was
I know that
was too far.
It went south quick.
But I think overall James Gunn, that was a great way to like capture all the moments with all these characters, even with Drax, right? Like I know Joe said it earlier, like I don't care about Drax, but it was really cool to see Drax, who in the first movie said like I lost my family, right, to Thanos, and how he's always mentioned here and there how much he loves being a dad, and now coming to the third movie, having all those children that they saved. But we got to see that characteristics of being a dad and being like goofy, doing the robot, even though that wasn't whatever he tried to be.
and for him to come out and start speaking their language, like out of nowhere, he knew what they were saying.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, where
The
did
line
that
was
come
real.
from?
The line was really good. You were never
Yes.
meant to be a destroyer. You were meant to be a dad, and that was like an emotional
Yes.
thing for him too. Guys, like one of my last thoughts on the thing, and we haven't talked about it, but it needs to be talked about because it's a big part of these movies. But I feel like this was the best one, the soundtrack.
Oh,
Yes.
heck yeah!
Oh
Come
my
on.
gosh, like even if you didn't know the half these songs, which honestly I didn't know a lot of them, they might have been vaguely familiar. I listened to Dolby though from us starting it on like they usually start these movies uppity. We started with Creep and Rocket just kind of singing
Yeah.
it, and then him finally like crescendoing into seeing Chris Pratt's character
Drunk.
just in the depths of despair. But actually it started very, very dour.
And it ended the same way, but they ended up dancing. Everybody, seeing that love. But the music, every volume, each soundtrack of each Guardians movie is a soundtrack that you can listen to because it is very, very well put together soundtracks of everything. Even the fight, even the last fight scene when they're about to fight all those creatures running at them.
Oh, the one shot was amazing.
Oh,
that was like that was like
in the battle, in the battleship.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That was one of the best action scenes we've gotten from Marvel.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Wait, can we talk about how much the CGI in this movie was like finally up to par, and like everything was like Groot didn't look fake, and everybody looked amazing, and that battle scene was not like crappy. It was fantastic. Like, okay. When I saw all like even Rocket and like Lila, which we need to talk about, but besides the point, seeing I guess more in depth of the details into these characters, especially the ones that aren't real, right? Like Bradley Cooper's not there. It's no one's there, but to see like how real it looked, it was great.
All the animals, even when he was letting all the people off the ship, and then he goes into the room with all the animals. Now, you think he's going to go in there and, start opening up the cages? No, he goes right to the raccoon cage. And what was the line he always said? I'm not a raccoon. And he goes to the name and then raccoon.
Yeah.
That's the first thing he does when he goes in there. And then I looked at my wife and goes, he's saving all the animals. There's no way they're leaving that ship with all the animals to die. Where all these other animals came from, I don't know, but there was penguins. There was a ton of animals coming.
Love a Noah's Ark reference.
Yes, that was like.
But
it was good. But all the animals looked good, and they were CGI. They all look good.
They look amazing.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It wasn't as good as MODOK, but it was close.
MODOK? No, how dare you?
But like in all fairness, you're right, and like this is the thing they need to get better at. Like as well as good as Wakanda Forever was filmed, like the CGI parts just took me out. Like I didn't have anything wrong against Ironheart. Thank you. But she just like I don't know if he's doing a Hadouken at me, but like the CGI on it though was just like it just like you look at Iron Man 1 and then you look at hers and it's just like what happened? Yeah. Like
speaking about Dragon Ball, isn't today Goku Day or something like that? I'm not even a Dragon Ball guy, and I know that.
Yeah, but we're talking about Marvel, man. But yeah, happy Goku Day.
No,
is that like an ice cream or a froyo
or
something? Or?
The disrespect.
It was
I've seen Dragon Ball the movie.
Oh no, not the live action one. Oh gosh, I wish I didn't hear that.
That's the only Dragon Ball thing I've ever actually seen.
I'm so sorry for you.
What were we getting ready to do when I ended up watching the movie? And you told me don't waste your time watching the movie. I'm like, I don't know nothing about Dragon Ball. Let me just see it. I don't know what it is.
It was a Saturday.
It was so bad. It was.
I remember just telling you to stop and like just watch something else.
It was so bad.
Yeah, it was really bad. But yeah, let's get back into Rocket and the whole beginning of the story and Lila and Floor and Teeth. Like just his whole companionship. When watching that, like, how did that make you feel, like, throughout the whole entire movie?
I think they did a fantastic job really fleshing out why Rocket is the way he is. And it might have been something that you didn't really ever wonder. Like, they talk about like, oh, he went through this, that, and the other thing. And like, but like even watching it as the audience and even watching Nebula and Nebula being like, this was way worse than even what I went through, which she had been through some horrific things. So I think adding the emotional resonance of him having these friends there, and then literally like I thought like there was going to be a backstory where he finds them again or he travels. I didn't think James was going to knock them all off with in a firefight.
Oh,
I mean, maybe I was probably okay with the rabbit going because that rabbit creeped me the f out.
Floor?
Not
No, not Floor.
She was cute. I don't like spiders. I hate spiders, but she was cute.
Oh my gosh, it was, yeah.
the only spiders I like are spider monkeys, not spider rabbits.
Spider rabbit.
Thank you.
Yeah, but it definitely was. I appreciated you got to see how much Rocket really loves the Guardians. Because, like, again, in the first movie, he's like, we're just here to get loot. This guy's a tree. He just follows me, right? And to see how, like, he goes from being essentially a dick to now the most caring character that has a heart, right? And I know we saw a little bit in Guardians 2 with Yondu saying, like, he's like, you remind me of me, you know?
In Infinity War, he showed heart when Groot disappeared.
Yeah, that is true.
He did show a little heart. That was like, I think that was like the beginning of him showing heart.
Yeah. But like we got to see more in depth of it, of like how he went through so much torture but found friends that he like loved dearly. Lila was like the love of his life, right? And not wanting to see him die, right? He wanted to go and fly and with his best friends, right, in the big blue sky, right, in the big rocket ship. And I think it came to full circle because, like, unfortunately, Floor, Teeth, and Lila didn't get to go with him on the big rocket ship, but the Guardians, who are his best friends, did, like, actually get to fly with him. And I thought that was a cool, like, full circle moment, because, like Rocket has his dream came true in the sense of, like, he got to fly with his friends and have adventures and love again. I thought it was funny when Star-Lord was like, I gotta save my best friend, and Drax is like, second best friend.
No, it's that arc is something that we all could relate to because we have friends and things happen, and as a person you sometimes try to cover it up as being a dick.
Yeah. Excuse
my language, but that's what you do, and that was Rocket. He had something. They were gonna go to the blue sky, and it didn't happen. So he put up his walls, and he didn't want to have that happen again. But then with the Guardians, they started breaking down the walls because instead of having friends, it's a family. That's what it ended up being. It's family. Most friends are family, believe it or not. So just to see that is relatable, and it is something that is emotional. It like I said in the beginning, it's an emotional roller coaster. This whole movie was, and you were invested as somebody watching this movie. You were invested watching it from beginning to end. There was no boring scenes at all. It was just you were up, you were at high, you were at lows, you're at highs, you're at lows, and then at the end it was a very peaceful ending.
Yeah.
And a bright future for Guardians.
For sure.
Of where that team is going to go. So.
Yeah. So,
Do we want to mention the little end tagline that would like because Chris Pratt didn't say. I mean, of course, they all say this, but it's like, I don't know if I'll be back. It would be weird to go with James Gunn, but Disney is like, nah, you coming back unless
Yeah.
somebody else is taking the Star Lord
Yeah.
moniker.
No, yeah, that's exactly the question. The next question was like, do you
Yeah.
think Star-Lord's actually coming back? Do you think Chris Pratt
Uh,
is actually coming back?
I every time Marvel put that at the end of a movie that they'll be back, they've come back. So I think he'll come back in as a supporting character, but not as a main character moving forward.
Well, the legend, so the legendary Star Lord was actually a comic series that focused on Peter Quill leaving the Guardians. So maybe they're also leaving it open for a short series on Disney
Mm.
Plus, possibly. Maybe not because they're backing away from it, but yeah, I definitely out of any other character to maybe show up in like any future team up movies, Avengers and stuff. He would probably be the best choice next to Rocket.
Well, he's on Earth now, so anything that happens on Earth,
Yeah.
he'll jump in there unless he's mowing the neighbor's
Lawn.
lawn. I mean, tell me that wasn't a Captain America moment, like the end
Yeah,
credit
that
scene.
was-
Oh,
Him
yeah, yeah,
saying,
yeah.
I don't mind. I don't. If she wants me to cut her lawn, I don't mind. But I'm not gonna do it and have her son just stare at me.
Yeah,
while
yeah.
I'm cutting the lawn. Her 40-year-old son,
Yeah.
and they're just sitting there, and then his grandpa says, I feel that way too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That was kind of cool. It was
How
different.
about the
Kevin Bacon?
How about the newspaper clipping where we're talking? Yeah, the Kevin Bacon thing.
Yeah,
They reference
yes.
Kevin Bacon being abducted by aliens, and he talks all. That was a fun thing back to the
Yes.
Christmas. I mean, because honestly, the Christmas story wasn't really a story. It was a Guardian story, but really all it needed to say was like, "Hey, Mantis is the sister, and also this is why they have nowhere because they bought it."
They made meaning to doing a special. Like, I don't mind them doing specials, but they actually connected it to the overall story of characters.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. Just don't do a special to do a special. Do a special where it'll connect everybody, all the characters together. And that was something that was cool that Star-Lord does have a sister. That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like She-Hulk and Daredevil, it tied everything together, and it was perfect. You'd have to be born again to forgive that. Daredevil.
Yeah, I see what you did there. I see what you did there. But yeah, guys, real quick, last question. What? Now that we talked about the movie, we talked about our emotions, we talked about the villain, we talked about the love story, we talked about all these characters, James Gunn, DC for some reason, and She-Hulk and whatever, all this. At the end of the day, what is the final score that you would give this movie? Joe, on the spot.
I'm gonna give it 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. Pretty good score. Senor Chris?
9 out of 10.
Sheesh, 9 out of 10. I feel like I'm going to be the downside on this one. I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. Not because it was a horrible movie.
Get out. Get out.
Okay, fine.
Get out.
See?
No, just kidding. Just kidding.
No.
He's hosting the live stream.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. I could kick you out, actually.
Oh yeah,
I
darn.
can
Stay.
kick you out, which I'm going to do right now. He's gone. He's back.
Don't do it.
Oh, sorry.
Don't do it.
You were gone for a second. Just letting you know right now. But no, I have to give it 8 out of 10 just because I feel like personally myself, I tend to give a lot of things 9 out of 10s, and that's like near perfection. I don't think it was super perfect. I think it was great. I think it was also like Endgame was like a 9 out of 10. So I can't like put that like compare it to like Endgame. So that's why I give it 8 out of 10.
You only
Oh,
gave
that tracks, 'cause, like,
Endgame. You give 9 out of 10 because Stark died. Come on, really?
I would have given it 10 out of 10 if Stark didn't
And
die.
you cried because Spider-Man cried because Iron Man died. That's what happened.
Hey, leave Tom Holland out of this, okay? Don't you dare.
Pepper Potts trying to get to her man, and Spider-Man ran in the way.
Look, Tom Holland does no wrong, okay? Don't you dare.
It was a little selfish there.
He can be selfish.
Andrew Garfield does no wrong, and he's a treasure.
I think we have someone in the
that's right.
comments saying something.
Yeah.
Is it Andrew
I
Garfield?
wish.
Dupree Entertainment says, as DC fan mostly, I had hope and optimism in James Gunn's DCU vision, but after seeing Volume 3 with balanced tones presented in the film, DC is good hands and Superman Legacy is going to be fire. And I believe so. I agree with you. Dupree
He knows
Entertainment.
what he's talking about. He knows what he's saying. DC's
Yes,
in good hands.
this is a guy who knows. This is a guy who knows.
Yeah, he's just speaking facts right now. Entertainment speaking facts right now. I think, yeah, DC is definitely in good hands.
So he's saying DC is going to go down in flames?
Gosh, why do you like this?
DC is gonna blow up Marvel.
Whoa. You got a lot to go before that. Maybe they do go up.
Right to jail. Right to jail with you. Right next to Ezra Miller.
Oh, yeah.
The way everything is going, like back when I started getting out of comic books, there was a crossover between DC and Marvel. I would like to see that moving forward. To be honest with you.
Well, DC needs a universe first before they can cross over.
Yeah, well, that is true. But it was, I mean,
at least a consistent universe. One universe.
There's multiple Earths, so there's
Yeah, but like that's fine. But there's multiples elsewhere. So there's at least they're acknowledging and being like, here's our main timeline. Yeah, the Batman was cool. We don't want him for some reason because we don't like awesome things. So whatever. But
never say never.
Dude,
he might end up coming into DCU.
I was butthurt about that news that he was in Elseworld universe. Elsewhere. I'm like, how you gonna put him elsewhere? Like, how you gonna do him like that?
Like, what is elsewhere? Really? You're gonna do that to him?
It was a little bit disrespectful. I ain't gonna lie. That one hurt my feelings there. But yeah, guys, thank you guys for tuning in. We are definitely trying to do this more often. Your boys are back. We did not disband. We did not break up. Joe is here forever to stay. Joe is actually making a lot of 3D prints, and he will announce that later. I'm not going to put him on the spot. Chris is
sure.
Chris, what would you like to say? What's upcoming for you?
Just stay tuned. I got some Star Wars stuff that I'm going to unbox. And then I have some nostalgia pieces that I'm going to unbox too. Like just a sneak. Woo! For you older guys who know who Alf is. Luis didn't know who Alf was.
I didn't know. That was my bad.
I told Luis I got Alf. He goes, who?
Yeah, he called me too.
Not Elf, Alf.
He called me too, and I was like, I'm so sorry. I don't know.
It's like Will Ferrell was an alien. What?
Yeah, I felt like
Dupree Entertainment is. I'm sorry to cut you guys off. He's saying, I'm just saying the balanced tones in Volume 3 from the humor and dark moments throughout the entirety of the film. There's balance. That's all. He will do the character justice. That's all. Yes, we agree with you, Entertainment. That we do agree with you. James Gunn is gonna bring balance to DC if there was force in DC.
He's going to put the justice back in the league, is what he was trying to say. The Star Wars reference was too easy. Come on, Chris, do better.
Sorry, damn.
Cancel them. Alf was the GOAT. He's saying cancel me? No, I didn't know. Stop. I'm so sorry for being young. I don't know what to say to that.
I wish I still had that thread. I wish I had that thread on text.
When I was 6, I got one of those. Remember those big dolls that they used to have that had cassettes in them that were interactive? I had an Alf version of Teddy Ruxpin, essentially.
Look, Joe's trying to make sure he doesn't get canceled. I can't say nothing, so I'm the one getting canceled.
Pizza Hut did a promotion with Alf. You got a little stuffed animal, but it came with like a little record player on it, and the record player was made out of paper, but you actually could put on a record and it played, which actually was pretty cool. So that's my childhood. Alf was awesome. If you have a chance to watch,
is Pizza Hut open?
Temporary.
Son of a really, Chris, you had to bring that up.
But yeah, Chris, we can't wait to see more of your unboxing videos. That's for sure. Joe, we can't wait to see more of your 3D printings. I know it's on the way. And
It's on its way. I didn't die from fumes
he
yet.
didn't die from
Yeah.
fuse yet. Please pray for
Yeah.
Joe. But your boy here is starting to do more gaming on Twitch, so definitely check that out. We're starting up a community. Your boy got some more Digimon tournaments coming up that he's going to be live streaming and hopefully reposting that back onto the YouTube channel. And I am starting. Man, send me to the pit of despair. Why entertainment? Why? But sorry. But I'm definitely getting into more of 3D animation. That is on its way. Just got a new software for that, so I can't wait for more of that. But yeah, I think Joe, you're gonna make all of us Mandalorian gear, is what I heard.
Yeah, we got to go
I'm-
as Sky Guys as Mandalorians. That'll be awesome.
I will be 100% Bo-Katan. So,
Entertainment said Digimon is better than Pokemon.
That's all.
He said it.
That's look.
They said
well,
it.
I've heard Digimons have more power.
Digimon does have more power. I'm sorry. Look,
I don't know. Just you got to catch them all.
No, that's Pokemon. How dare you?
Oh,
disrespect.
Sorry.
Look, hold up. That's all I gotta say. I have a little mini Agumon. That's Digimon right there, baby.
I used to have a rock Pikachu somewhere here, but now it's gone.
No. I hope it's gone. Forget that.
It was
I got-
cursed.
Pac-Man.
What?
That's not a
No,
Pokemon.
Pokemon nor Digimon. What's going on here?
I don't.
It's an abomination.
Chris,
I don't know what that is.
That was like
I don't know
the
what that is.
high evolutionary's first experiment, Pac-Man.
But, guys, please in the comments below or in this chat, please tell us what you guys would like us to do moving forward. In terms of discussions, I know we've talked about internally doing like top 10 lightsaber battles or top 5. I know we discussed trying to do more like definitely more interactive community based like topics. So please let us know like what's something that you guys would enjoy or something that we can discuss. Not argue, discuss. Okay, there's a difference.
Yes, something that we could discuss, and then we could fight to the death. No, just kidding. Just kidding.
Nothing's off limits. Star Wars, Pokemon,
Yeah,
dating in
anything.
virtual reality. Let's figure it out. I don't know. I was
How-
Wolverine with claws, and I figured I would date that guy.
How to make a
Not
pizza
Wolverine
pie.
with
If you
claws.
want to talk how to make
Darth
pizza,
Maul
we
with
could talk
claws.
about how to make pizza.
Yeah.
Whatever you want as
Or
well.
how many things can we make the Rock into whatever? Rock Digimon, Rock
Yeah.
Pikachu, Rock Marvel, Rock Deadpool. Yeah.
I was going to come up with the most ridiculous thing and make Rock Black Adam. Like, it could be crazy.
good
That would
idea.
fail miserably, though.
That was awesome. I definitely.
Oh, speaking of which, I'm surprised we didn't get Ego in this movie.
Entertainment said he says Howard the Duck carried Volume 3. He said
That's
it.
it.
Boom.
Carried it. That's it.
Howard the Duck, man.
Howard the Duck.
We need more Howard the Duck in our lives.
But thank you guys so much for tuning in. We hope that you
Yes.
enjoyed this. Until next time, this is your boy. I'm out. Peace.
Peace, guys. Catch you later.
I have double-sided tape, and I will be experimenting with it live later. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Bye, guys. Joe. See ya.
Joe.
Yeah.
You want to do that again? No. You want to keep?
You want
No.
to?
You want to keep? Just keep that.
No, I don't double back on things anymore.